Karen Curry here, author of the #1 best-selling book, Understanding Human Design, here with your free weekly Human Design Evolution Transit Report. Before we jump into what's up with the stars and the planets this week, I want to take just a little bit of a segue and talk about the importance of struggle. Now, I've talked a lot about this in the last year, and the reason why I talked a lot about this in the last year is because this was a pretty heavy, prominent theme in the celestial weather last year. We're knee-deep in the middle of another cycle of struggle, and I use that word really lightly because there's a lot going on with this struggle, and we're really moving into, another long cycle of struggle. Struggle is a really important energy when we look at this from the perspective of human design. If you look at the human design chart, it's really a map or a visual representation of all the possibilities that are available for the expression of being human. So we all have, even if you don't have this in your chart specifically, you still have the energy of struggle in your energy makeup. We are designed to a certain degree to struggle, but it's not a bad thing. That struggle is not about suffering. It's not about getting stuck. It's not about being in a place where you feel like you're powerless or disempowered. That struggle is a crucial energy that's necessary for the birthing of a new world, a birthing of a new you in this new year, a birthing of a new set of values, and that's very much what we're in the middle of. The struggle that we're experiencing, and as I said, it's a prominent theme for a big chunk of 2014. The struggle here is not about suffering and getting stuck. It's about really asking ourselves, is my life a true reflection of who I am? Do I trust Source enough to take giant leaps of faith and really pursue my dreams? Am I living my heart's priorities? Am I living a life that is not contained with, not riddled with compromise? Am I really being true to who I am and living true to what I came here to do? Am I being true to my life purpose? Are my relationships a reflection of how much I love myself? Are my relationships a reflection of what I want to be, how I want to show up for my relationships? Is my creative fulfillment what I want it to be? Are my finances what I want them to be? Is my connection with Source what I want it to be? Right now, with the energy that's going on, we're really, really being called upon to ask ourselves in this cycle of newness, because we're in this big cycle of newness, who am I? What am I here to do? Am I really taking solid steps in that direction? Is my life a true reflection of the authentic soul that I am? Is my life a true embodiment of my heart's priorities? As we go into the new year this week, I invite you to really engage in a conversation and a dialogue with yourself, asking yourself those questions. We're just like, and I used this analogy earlier this year, but it's a good one to revisit. We're like seeds, and we're germinating in the soil, and we've been germinating, and now with this energy of struggle, we're being given this extra impetus to push through the soil and up to the light so that we can really, bloom and blossom and grow and continue to fulfill our own personal potentials, and ultimately, in doing that, adding to the collective fulfillment of the potential for humanity. It's so important right now. It's probably the most important thing you can engage in this year is really ask yourself, who am I? What do I need to do to express the truth of who I am? How do I love myself and ultimately love others through loving myself? And how do I create a life that's a reflection of all of that honoring that is me, all of this essence that I bring forth in this form? And how can I create, a life that reflects and is a true expression of who I am? So that's kind of what we're working with. So if it feels like it's hard some days, or it feels like, everything isn't working out the way you thought it would, take it as a meaning. Don't take it personally. It's not you screwing up. It's none of the above. It's life coming back to you and saying, is this really worth it? Is this worth fighting for? Is this what you want? Does it need to be tweaked? Are you really being real here? Get real. And as we move through these energies, don't despair in the struggle. Recognize that if you really keep hitting up against the wall, there's a message there for you. And if you can really take that message to heart and really say, okay, life is giving me feedback and showing me there's a place here where I still need to grow, and really take it in that vein, you're going to be on top of the world, and it'll be the best year you've ever had yet. All right, let's get to the celestial weather. I'm going to make it kind of short and quick because I already kind of hit the highlights. This week we have struggle in the sun, and really the energy with us that's going to help us discover what's really worth struggling for, what's really worth fighting for. This is a really cool energy to start the year with because we're starting the year with fire in our bellies. We're really getting lined up with our intentions and ready to go. And this redefinition and this newness that's helping us, clarify our values and really clarify what do we really want to go for. That's kind of how we start the year. So we start the year, with that kind of energy moving forward. We have in Mercury, we've got again the 38, which is the same energy, this fighting energy, this struggle energy. We have the same energy in Mercury, so we're talking to each other about our struggles too. So seek out companionship and don't struggle by yourself. Really look for support and nurturing. You won't be the only one going through it, and sometimes when we come together in community and support each other, it really makes it more clear that we're all kind of going through this same shedding of our skin and moving into this whole big newness. This great big cycle of being new. On Friday, Mercury moves into the 54, so we get inspired and we start thinking about how can we take some of these new big ideas and start implementing them. We have the 60 in Venus transits to the 61 by Tuesday, which means, we have, again, this whole new reaching out to know the unknowable, reaching out to know the mystery. So even in our Venus type of relationships, we're kind of looking for bigger answers, looking for the bigger picture, looking for a more expanded value. And that's going to come into, it's going to come into contrast sometimes with some of the other energies, because we have sort of idealistic perspectives, but at the same time, that idealism will get grounded by the struggle, and ultimately, those ideal principles that are truly valid and truly new will be proven in your daily life, and you'll get that feedback from the universe. You'll get that feedback from your life that'll show you which one of those big, beautiful principles are really worth fighting for and bringing forth into form. The only other thing that's really kind of significant in this, we do have the gate 48 coming up in Mars this week, which means, this week we have the potential to also feel a little bit inadequate if we're not careful. That energy is a powerful energy. It does temper enthusiasm, which can be a good thing. You don't want to be so enthusiastic that you step off of a cliff. The 48 says, hey, wait, do your homework, check the map. So, there is sort of a checking in with yourself energy this week, but be mindful if you start to feel like, I don't know enough, I can't do this, this is impossible. If those kinds of thoughts start creeping in, trust that the circumstances will show themselves that will help you figure out the how part to your dreams. So don't worry about too much. Don't get too locked down in the details with your dreams. Trust that you'll have what it takes. Trust that all you need to do is a little bit of homework, but not so much homework that you get stuck. You still got to also go out and do it. But the inadequacy piece might whisper in your ear a little bit, just blow it off. It's not real. It's just energy. Again, the big planets, we're all kind of dealing with the same stuff we've been dealing with. Basically, the universe is showing us you are here to be authentic. You are here to be a true expression of the beauty of who you are. When you step into the full authentic expression of who you are, you will be fully supported. You will have all the fire in the belly that you need to fight for what's worth fighting for. You will have all the ability to create and express new ideas, new ways of being in the world. So be bold, be courageous. This year, be yourself and the fullest expression of yourself as yourself, and know that when you do that, you will be fully supported. Have a wonderful new year, and I will talk to you next week.